Midday fix of facts and spicy sides.
From breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
All served hot and fresh. Hello there, I'm Monique Tuzon.
I'm Chal Lontoc, standing in for Ferdy Salvador. Glad to have you with us.
And I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is the Daily Dish. So this is the day after the resignation of Congressman Zaldy Co.
And he hasn't showed up because he was supposed to show up yesterday, but he never did.
Yes, a lot of people are actually saying he might not come back.
Yeah.
Right? So we're trying to find out what's being done to actually force him to come home and face the allegations against him. There's talk about whether his passport can be revoked, and there's a request for a blue notice from
I think they already did the
Interpol
blue
as
notice,
well.
but I think they're trying to escalate that even more so they can
Yes, we
bring
want
him
to
home.
get updates on those efforts.
His resignation would actually signify what for the Filipino people?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Honestly,
Yes.
I'm just saying it how
People
it
are
is.
saying
It's nothing.
yes.
It's
He's not
useless.
doing
We
anything.
need
Unless we hold him
justice,
accountable, that's really what we need to do. So we need to bring him home, and he needs to face the music.
And speaking about music,
Facing the music.
Yes, I actually want to bring up that next year we will be having.
I wish.
Bad Bunny as
Not
a headliner.
me. The Super Bowl.
Yes, the Super Bowl.
Tell us
They
more
think he's
about
coming
Bad
to the
Bunny
Yeah,
for those
you
who are
know,
not familiar.
Benito.
It's actually amazing because we all know that the Super Bowl is one of the most watched events in everywhere in the world. You know, 100 million views almost in that particular show or event, sporting event. But it's quite controversial as well because Bad Bunny has been openly speaking about or against the president. So, you know.
Yeah, and he's actually of Puerto Rican descent. So
There you
he
go.
actually canceled a lot of his tours in America because he's scared he might get detained by ICE. So for him to perform at the Super Bowl is really a significant move for Bad Bunny. And he was there in 2020. He performed with J-Lo and Shakira. So I'm super excited to see him perform on his own, and maybe who will he bring with him?
Yes, but what happened to Taylor Swift? I thought there
I
was
thought
a
it was
big
big
lobby.
As a Swiftie, we were ready.
Right, there was a
We
big
were, like,
lobby for
jamming
her to
out.
headline the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened. Let me call her real quick and be like, girl, what happened?
Bad Bunny just hopped in.
Benito, literally. But I'm excited. Kendrick Lamar was actually the most watched.
That was last year. And there
so
were
we'll
some
see.
political comments that came with it, and that's why people are
Kendrick was so
wondering
good.
how it will go for them next year, the Super Bowl.
But for sure, the halftime show is going to be exciting. Now, who's our guest
yes,
today?
speaking about exciting, we also have a wonderful guest. I know there's a lot of chaos going on now, so it's time to get organized and fix not just our thoughts, but also our surroundings. So we will be having Renelyn Tan-Castillejos. She's KonMari certified.
Can we bring her bus to Senate and Congress? Pwede pa
I like that idea. I like that idea.
Decluttering. It actually also applies to your life, to your mindset, to
This
your
is what we need.
career as well.
Yeah, all of
right, we're
us.
going to talk more about that, those stories coming up after these headlines.
This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish. My daily dish. My daily dish.
In today's headlines, a flood control master plan is being implemented. That's the clarification made by the DPWH in a Senate hearing on the flood control scam. Tagotas Representative Toby Chanco says ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldy Co's resignation is not enough and he must take accountability for all the allegations against him. After almost 2 decades of marriage, Hollywood couple Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban call it quits. And later in the show, we'll have decluttering expert Renelyn Tan-Castillejos. Our top story, the Senate Committee on Public Works is conducting its hearing today amid the flood control scandal. Let's get the latest live from Hannah T. Hannah, what is the highlight so far?
The flood control master plan is still being implemented. That's the clarification that came out on today's Senate Public Works hearing after Senator Mark Villar asked the DPWH about the status of the plan. The DPWH said the flood management program covers 18 major river basins across the country. It uses a river basin approach which studies and manages the entire river system and connected areas to better control water. Undersecretary Constante Llanes Jr. explained that the master plan is ongoing and continuous. Villar was earlier questioned after it surfaced that former DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan did not receive any turnover of a 351 billion flood control master plan. The plan was prepared under the Aquino administration, according to former DPWH Secretary Rogelio Singson, but was not pursued by the succeeding administrations, when asked in a Bilyonaryo news channel interview. But Palace Press Officer Claire Castro earlier said Bonoan himself confirmed that there was no turnover from former Secretary Villar. Villar served in former President Rodrigo Duterte's cabinet as DPWH Secretary from 2016 to 2021. In the hearing, it surfaced that the plan has been carried over across different administrations. The DPWH added that there were inaugurations last year and another is scheduled next year, and the plan includes road access in revetment structures to allow vehicles to pass for maintenance purposes. Back to you, Mai.
Hana, I was wondering, matatanong kaya si Senator Villar, the former DPWH Secretary, tungkol doon sa mga na-award na flood control projects during his tenure sa DPWH? Kasi di ba maraming projects ang na-award din sa mga controversial contractors during his time from 2016 under the Duterte administration?
Yes. Actually, Mai, we're waiting if magpapa-interview itong si Secretary or si Senator Mark Villar dahil tama ka dyan, no, it was surfaced sa BNC mismo na merong DPWH data that shows na merong isang INE Construction Corporation na ang owner nito ay ang cousin ni Senator Mark Villar na si Carlo Aguilar, which bagged over 8 billion worth of projects mula 2016, mostly in Las Piñas and Cavite. And Villar and Aguilar linked companies also secured at least 360 plus contracts worth 18.5 billion during and after Villar's stint as DPWH Secretary. So ilan yan dun sa mga gusto rin nating tanungin kay Senator Mark Villar, pero so far ongoing pa rin yung hearing, and right now pinag-uusapan yung infrastructure projects, particularly yung right-of-way issues ng mga proyekto. Back to you, Mai.
Okay, finally, Hannah, can you help us understand bakit kailangan itong hearing na to under the Committee on Public Works? Kung meron ng Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, magkahiwalay ba to?
Yes, Mai. Actually, this is the Committee on Public Works. Separate na committee ito doon sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, at yung purpose nung meeting nila today ay as said doon nga sa agenda ay tungkol sa priority legislative agenda at implementation status ng mga recently completed infrastructure projects and flagship programs at yung iba pang related projects ng DPWH. So hindi lang ito nakafocus sa flood control, this also includes roads, bridges, etc. Kasi doon sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee naman, yung naging probe in the last few hearings ay tungkol nga sa anomalous flood control projects at nag-focus din sila sa budget insertions. So specifically, itong sa Public Works ay nakafocus sa infra projects, hindi lang sa flood control. Back to you, Mai.
All right, thank you. Hannah T. reporting to us live from the Senate. 2026 budget deliberations continue at the House of Representatives, where lawmakers have already approved funds meant for the office of the Vice President. Our John Manalo joins us live from the Batasang Pambansa for the latest. Go ahead, John.
Mayan information just came in. Ako Bicol Party List third nominee, Attorney Jan Shan, is set to replace resigned Representative Zaldy Co in the House of Representatives. This is confirmed to us by Representative Alfredo Garbin. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives is currently holding debates on House Bill 4058, or the General Appropriations Bill of 2026. Today marks the fifth day of deliberations, where lawmakers are set to interpolate on the budget proposals of several agencies, including the Office of the Vice President. Despite questions from the minority bloc during the House Appropriations Committee's deliberations weeks ago, the OVP's 902.895 million peso budget was approved by the panel in less than an hour. The same was true during the Senate Finance Committee hearing yesterday, which also cleared the proposal for plenary consideration. Vice President Sara Duterte personally attended both the House and Senate committee deliberations. However, it is still unclear if she will also appear at today's House plenary debates. Interpellations from the minority bloc are expected, possibly raising again the issue on the OVP's confidential funds, which was earlier questioned in committee hearings. And apart from the OVP, the House is also set to deliberate on the 2026 budget of the DSWD, DENR, DICT, DOLE, DILG, and CSC. Mai.
Joan, what is the timeline of Congress for the 2026 budget deliberations?
The lower chamber is expected to finish the plenary deliberations next week, with October 10 reserved as the period of amendments. Meanwhile, as we speak, the plenary is deliberating on the budget of the Commission on Indigenous Peoples, with lawmakers expected to work overtime in order for them to achieve their proposed timeline on the plenary deliberations. Mai.
Thank you, Joan Manalo, live from the Batasang Pambansa. Navotas Representative Toby Chanco says the resignation of ACO Bicol Party List Representative Zaldy Co is not enough. Chanco stressed accountability means coming home to face the allegations against him. He adds Co is insulting both the country's institutions and the Filipino people by resigning and staying abroad. Co stepped down yesterday, citing threats to his family's safety and claiming he was denied due process. His resignation came as the Independent Commission for Infrastructure recommended multiple charges against him over a multi-million peso project in Oriental Mindoro, as well as receiving kickbacks. The House has since dropped its ethics complaint, saying it has no jurisdiction over Co now that he's resigned. But Chanco insists the case does not end with a resignation, warning that failure to face the charges could be seen as an admission of guilt. A word war erupts between former Senate President Cheese Escudero and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez over the flood control scandal. Senator Cheese calls Romualdez's supposed attempts to shift blame on the corruption controversy scripted. He also questioned why Romualdez hasn't been summoned to testify despite his alleged role in the scandal. But Romualdez called Escudero's privileged speech yesterday as a, quote, DDS script. The later representative says instead of explaining his side, the former Senate president is positioning himself as Vice President Sara Duterte's ally for the 2028 presidential elections. Last week, former DPWH Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo claimed Escudero and businessman Maynard Ngu received 20% kickbacks from infrastructure projects in Valenzuela and Marinduque. Vice President Sara Duterte says President Bongbong Marcos continues to display his flawed judgment by allowing change in the leadership of both houses of Congress while keeping a stranglehold on the flood control probe. In a statement, the Vice President explains that the supposed Independent Commission for Infrastructure is clearly under the President's control. She asserts that, quote, one day the floodwaters of truth and accountability will flow all the way to Malacanang, and on that day, the Filipino people will decide that we deserve better, unquote. The Office of Public Counsel for Victims rejects former President Rodrigo Duterte's request for interim release. In the victim's response to the defense's notification, it says Duterte's camp failed to demonstrate any change of circumstances or bring any other important matter that will change the fact that the continued detention of the former president remains necessary. The Victims' Counsel explains that granting Duterte's request may harm the image of the court as a court of law. South Korea is taking steps to ease criminal penalties on businesses in a bid to boost corporate activity. Finance Minister Koo Chon-yeol announced that the government and the ruling Democratic Party will relax punishments, saying excessive penalties have long restricted economic growth and creativity. The Democratic Party also plans to abolish breach of trust charges, often criticized for being misused against business leaders. Under the changes, minor corporate violations will be met with administrative sanctions first rather than criminal charges.
A breakthrough for the UP Fighting Maroons in UAAP Season 88. The defending men's basketball champions shut down the UE Red Warriors 92-75 for their first win after suffering back-to-back losses. Noda Mogat took over, draining 6 triples to finish with 21 points against his former team. UP head coach Goldwyn Monteverde says these losses serve as a test to the Fighting Maroons' winning mentality as they attempt to complete a two-peat this season.
So, first of all, siyempre, pag fall short ka on something, important is just taking responsibility for those shortcomings. Then, I think as a team, we took responsibility and at the same time, work together, realizing that, sama-sama kami in times of losses. And then more than anything else is, the way he bounced back from 2 losses, para siya, para siya pinaglaban sa sarili niya, kasi yung team niya, yung para sa akin na malaking values, lumaki ka.
After 19 years of wedded bliss, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban are calling it quits. Sources tell TMZ they've been living apart since early summer, and Kidman has been trying to save their marriage. The couple were married in 2006 and have 2 teenage daughters. They were long seen as one of Hollywood's most enduring power couples. And Urban struggled with alcohol abuse early in their marriage, but they remained a united front until now. Oh, this is so sad. I love Nicole and Keith.
This shocked me. I was sleepily scrolling on my phone this morning, and it literally woke me up when I read about
You saw it.
What?
I had to check other sources. I'm like, wait, is this true?
Yeah.
Usually, when you talk about Hollywood couples, you'd always give them as an example of those everlasting Hollywood couples because they've been together for 19 years.
Yeah. And they've
But that's
always
long.
been-
19
Yeah,
years
for
is
Hollywood
already long
standards.
for Hollywood standards.
Well, and also
yes.
they've been like together, and people kind of look up to them because they're like the it Hollywood couple that everyone's like, oh, they're so strong, they're so in
Enduring
love. Yeah, you
everything,
never
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But also, I read allegedly
Yes.
that it's something that Nicole Kidman is not really happy about. She still wanted to make it work.
I know.
So
She's been trying to make it work.
Yeah,
but I
but
don't know.
there are Hollywood couples that you're rooting for. You want them to succeed.
And this is one of them.
Right, this is one of them. Nicole Kidman and Keith
Oh,
Urban.
I'm so sad. Well, anyway, moving on, we have more entertainment news as President Donald Trump announces imposing a 100% tariff on all foreign-produced films entering the U.S., expanding his protectionist trade agenda into the entertainment industry. The move creates uncertainty for studios reliant on international markets and co-productions. While Trump hinted at the policy in May, details remained unclear. In response, American film unions urged him to back domestic production tax incentives in ongoing congressional negotiations.
Coming up next, we'll talk about the benefits of decluttering with Renelyn Tan-Castillejos. She's a certified KonMari consultant And today, she'll help us tidy our spaces. You don't want to miss that, so stay with us on The Daily Dish.
This is my daily dish.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. A certified KonMari consultant attests to the benefits of decluttering at home and in the office. Joining us on The Daily Dish today is Renelyn Tan-Castillejos.
Yeah, she is the first Filipina to bring the KonMari Method to the country through her organizing service, Yorokobi. And she believes that decluttering isn't just about organizing, it's about discovering joy, clarity, and balance in life. Thank you for being here, Ren.
Thank you for having me. I'm so
Welcome.
excited to
Yes.
share about KonMari with all of you.
So, KonMari, we were just saying prior to introducing you, this was big even before the pandemic. The KonMari Method, or the Spark Joy Method, was big for a while, like 2014.
2014, I saw
Yes.
the book in the bookstore and I saw that it was a life-changing magic of tidying up.
Tidying up.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the KonMari Method for people who are watching right now and are not too familiar with it?
So the KonMari Method is something that was popularized by Japanese organizing consultant Marie Kondo. And it's a very simple way of organizing not really just your home, but your life. And the simple rule to follow is everything inside your home, does it spark joy for you or does it give value to you?
What got you started into this, and how were you certified? You said earlier you were certified since 2018.
Yes, 2018.
Right? So how did the process
So
go, and
it's,
what inspired you to go into this?
Very personal story because when I got married, my husband, I discovered, was a minimalist.
Who's here right now as well? Okay.
So I love collecting ever since I was young because it reminded me of the people who gave me gifts, who gave me good memories. And so when we got married, our home, we were living in a condo. And he was always asking, why do we need this? Why do we have this? And there came a point when I said, I think I should do something. And then I saw the book again and I tried it in my room. It was 3 hours. I was listening to Ed Sheeran's music at the background. And after following the simple steps that Marie Kondo did, I was surprised. I felt really lighter. And our relationship with me and my husband really improved. And I was so surprised because it was just me removing things that didn't serve me anymore. And I got so inspired. I researched in the internet and I saw that there was a KonMari consultant training in New York. I did that and the rest is history.
So you met Marie Kondo herself?
Yes, we did the training. And the first time I saw her, I said, this is why the KonMari Method works. Because she lives and breathes spark joy in her life. Not just in her house, in her energy as well.
Did you have to go to New York for that? Because I know now there's an online course to get certified.
So thankfully, before the pandemic, everything was done in person. I was able to meet her and there were other consultants in training from all over the world. And I realized that this concern that we're addressing is very universal. Because for a lot of people, there's so much noise going on. And in our homes, we find that when we go back home, it's nice to just really have a tidy space to clear our mind.
Yes, that also resonates with me because it's not only decluttering material things, but also
People?
Yes, people. Your emotions, probably your brain, because there's
Your
so
thoughts,
much in
your
your
thoughts,
head.
yes.
Yes, and also in your career.
Yes.
So let's talk more about that. How it's not just on the things you throw away or discard or give away, right? To make room for more joy in your life.
So it's really asking yourself, what kind of life do you want to have right now? Because the reason why a lot of people have so many things in their homes, in their spaces, is because they get confused that they need everything. When really, in every person's life stage, there are just specific items, specific things that you need to serve that purpose. So when I go to my client's home and I ask them, what do you want? What is it that you want? And they say, oh, I feel overwhelmed, I feel stressed. And then we start with asking the simple questions, what kind of life do you see? And does every single item in your home complement that life that you have?
I'm still digesting it, but you mentioned simple ways, so I'm gonna test you on those simple
Okay.
ways. Step by step, if I'm gonna get into this method, I wanna keep what's joyful or brings me joy. Where do I start first? Where do I go first? Do I go to my drawer?
Five
or
simple
what?
categories.
Okay, 5.
We divided it into category 1 are clothes, books, papers, miscellaneous items, and sentimental items.
Oh, clothes pala.
So the
It will
clothes-
take me forever.
The clothes seem difficult, but
Yes.
it's really the first one because even if you have a lot, it's easier for you to ask, do I still like this? Is the fashion still my own style right now? Maybe it's a different season. So you make sure that you lay out all of your clothes all over the house.
It gets overwhelming though, because I tried it little by little, and I find that it takes me a day. Tapos hindi pa ako tapos mag-declutter, I can't decide. So what are your tips for somebody like me?
So if you have very limited time and you just maybe have half a day, what you do is you divide your clothes. Maybe you start with all your tops, then you go with all your bottoms, and then you go with your bags. That's still under the clothes category. So that you are also kind to yourself. Because if you really cannot do it just in 1 day or 2 days, then it's nice to just spread it. And at the end of it, you just ask yourself, do you still want this? Will you still use this? Or is this still in your style?
Okay, I want to talk about the most difficult part. Letting go, right?
Yes, yes.
I'm sure that's
Yes.
one of the things that your clients, when they come to you, because I saw when you watch a documentary of KonMari, or sorry, Marie Kondo,
Marie
right?
Kondo.
When she touches something, do you really have to do that? Like, close your eyes, does this bring me joy? Does this bring me joy? And then decide from there, how does it work? How do you let go?
So for some people, that method where you touch the item, you try to ask yourself, how do I feel about it? For some people, it works. For others, they need something more straightforward and practical. And so you just ask yourself, if I use this right now, will I feel good when I'm wearing it? Or will I feel like, oh, this is too tight, this is too loose? So you ask yourself, is that item really complementing you and give you that best version of yourself?
But that will help us.
Yeah, but don't you have moments where you have a certain, let's say, clothing piece, and you say to yourself, oh, one day I will lose 10 pounds.
I was
and
going to
I will
ask
get
that.
back to that dress.
Yes, it's hard to
Yes.
let go of
Yes.
some clothes because you're thinking, okay, when I lose 10 pounds, I'm gonna fit into this. That's part of your goal kasi, di ba?
That's something that I love when my clients will tell me, okay, I will keep this, I will see myself fitting in this in a few months. And that's really okay. That's your reward for being able to have a healthier self. But then I also ask them, how long have you been waiting? If it's been years, maybe 1, 2, 3 years, remember, whatever space that you're taking off is not allowing you to have items that make you happy. So, if it's a few months, I think that's still okay. But if it's been years, it's also nice
Oo
to
nga.
tell yourself,
Oo nga.
what is it that
there is such
I
a thing
want?
as acceptance. Oh, but what about for somebody who's into collecting?
Yes.
Like somebody who's into books,
Right.
diba? It's so hard to let go of books. If you're into books, diba, may shelf ka,
Yes.
and you have boxes of it.
I also
How?
love books, so I understand this question. The goal of KonMari Method is not to make you have the least number of items in your home.
Okay.
The goal, first and foremost, is for you to discover what is it that makes you happy. And so, if for books, you like to see your books, then just make sure you have a shelf that's open, that you can actually be able to choose what do you want to read today. And so that's okay. As long as you have space, as long as you're able to really appreciate the books, then enjoy
As
it.
long as it sparks joy.
Yes.
Oo, kasi
always
you
goes
cannot
back to that one.
Oh, you can't get rid of something that sparks joy in your life. No?
Because you'll be surprised. There are a lot of clients that I have. They think that they will use the book, they will maybe need it in the future, but when they get it, and then they see, maybe not. So it's really being honest with yourself, where you are right now, and how you see that helping you.
Okay, still with letting go. What about sentimental items? That's the hardest. That's the hardest, especially if you have a loved one who has passed away for a couple of years, and of course you want to treasure them, keep certain items, things that give you memories. How do you know which one to let go? Sometimes there's even guilt that comes with it, right?
Yes. So for sentimental items, that's actually the 5th and last category for KonMari. And what I always remind my clients is when you have sentimental items, there are 2 things that's important. Number 1, you want to be able to see it and to display it. Sometimes if you keep it, you might be surprised the item will really be not too good anymore, it'll be worn out.
Or it might catch mold, di ba?
Yes, yes.
Oo.
And the second, if it's really a special item, maybe you can turn it into a jewelry, you can bring it with you. Make sure the sentimental item is enjoyed by you. You don't want to keep it.
Tsaka dapat nakikita mo at nagagamit
Yes.
mo rin.
Very true.
What about for, I'm guilty of this, yung mga ID nung anak ko.
Oh,
like from
your
like when he
kids.
was
Sentimental
small.
items as
yes,
well,
like I
yeah.
want to, I'm collecting like from when he was in kindergarten,
Mementos.
grade 1, grade 2.
Yeah.
Yes, and then nag-accumulate na sila since he's grade 7 now. So,
What you can do
Oh my God.
is put them all together in a nice box. And if you want to maybe look at it every so often, you can get that box, look through it. The simple rule to follow is, do you have space for it? Because if you don't have space, what I've seen most of the time is people keep it at the back, at the storage area, and the point of you enjoying the artwork, remembering the talent
Yeah,
of
all
your
the
kids
artwork
gets
pa.
forgotten. So make sure you have space for it, and if you want to go back to it, it's easy for you to find it.
also, it's not enough that ikaw lang yung magde-declutter, di ba? Dapat yung mga family members mo rin. Because you share the house,
Okay, wait,
you
wait,
see
wait.
their stuff accumulating also.
Mai, that's controversial
Yeah.
because I have experienced it myself with my husband. Syempre, at a certain day, I'm like, yeah, this is the clutter weekend. We're gonna do this. And the husband is not so into it at the
Yeah.
particular time. So how do you get everyone involved, or should you even get them involved? Because that can spark not
That
joy,
might be a source
argument.
of fights.
Spark argument.
So the rule for KonMari is you can only tidy up your own items.
Oh, let's repeat that.
The rule for KonMari is you can only tidy up your own items.
Yourself first,
Yes.
yes.
So if, for example, you're living with your husband, your family members, you ask them, I'll be tidying up soon, do you want to join me? If they're not yet ready, let it go.
Pwede rin
Because
palang marriage
the
counselor to.
Let
The
it go.
most
Let it go.
important thing for me, for KonMari, is the peace of mind that you'll get. And can you imagine, someone is not in the same page as you will really have arguments. It will not spark joy. And also, what I've seen is, sometimes it's easy for us to look at what's not going right in the house. But when you find that you have your own space, that you have your bedroom, your closet looking like a spark joy space for you, you'll be surprised. You won't even notice the items of the other people.
Or maybe inspire them na lang to follow suit.
Yes. So in my clients, for example, I start off, there's a couple. The husband would say, don't touch my things, okay? And of course, I say, yeah, I won't touch anything. But I've seen, as I go back after 3 sessions, the husband sees how it's tidy, the wife is happier, and I've counted so many times when the husband would say, okay, you can touch my things. And so that is where the ownership comes in.
Yeah.
Ren, I want to talk about stories that you have that were life-changing. Because oftentimes there's a misconception that when you clean up, naglilinis ka lang naman. But the impact is actually so much
Yes.
bigger. So do you have stories that you could share of people whose lives really changed?
I love the KonMari Method because it's really a great way of honoring people, honoring yourself. So I remember one client that I have. She's older, and her husband passed away. And so for many years, she wasn't touching their bedroom, their closet. It looked the same. And so we had the conversation before I started, are you ready? And when she said yes, it was a very emotional 3-month process for us. Because it was, I think, even if her husband died for a long time, it was the first time again that she wanted to live for herself in the present. And that's the beauty of the KonMari Method. You live in the present. And so even if it was very difficult, when we finished tidying up her items, she felt renewed.
Yeah.
She felt
maybe
like,
it was also healing for her.
yes, healing, and she was able to keep some items of the husband, but for the others, she donated it, and she felt a good sense that, all the items, even if my husband's not here, is helping another person. So you can keep some, you can leave some, but the great thing is she's able to be happy for herself at the moment.
All right, before we go on a break, your favorite tidying tip that we
Favorite
can
tidying
easily
tip?
apply to ourselves.
Is really just the 3 method of asking yourself, when you're ready to let go and you have everything there, you make sure you have 3 different boxes to donate, to sell, or to keep. Because that's very easy, so you don't get overwhelmed with big piles for tidying up.
Okay, that's a great organizing trick. Now we have to pause for a break. We'll get more tips from certified KonMari consultant Renelyn Tan-Castillejos after this short break. Stay tuned on The Daily Dish. Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Still with us is certified KonMari consultant and tidying coach, Renelyn
Tan-Castillejos. So Renelyn is going to teach us now the KonMari method of folding. There is such a thing, ladies and gentlemen. And while doing that, of course, we'll continue to ask you questions about decluttering.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
so
go
what
right
we have
ahead.
here are...
So we have some shirts
Are these your
and a
clothes?
pair of pants, yes.
Mix, mix, mix. Okay.
Cozy husband.
So the KonMari way of folding, it's not about you having a hard time folding. It's really having a system that allows you to see all of your things at the same time. So we have here a shirt. And so the thing about the KonMari method is when you pat your clothes, make sure that you use both hands and pat it with love. Pat it with love.
Wait. Pat with love.
Yes, pat with love. Of
Okay.
course, if you have a lot, maybe you don't have enough time. But see, for the shirt, it's very simple. You just
I want to try it with you, ah.
Yes. Okay. So make sure that you fold it one side and then the other here.
Okay,
fold
this is the same
sleeve.
way we
That's
fold
how we
clothes.
fold
Yeah,
it.
that's how we fold
Yes,
it. Okay.
but the trick is you want to leave about an inch gap here so that when you fold it,
Gap
your
from the collar,
clothes-
from the-
bottom to the
collar,
collar,
okay.
it will
And then
stand
leave a little
like
space.
this. Ta-da!
Oh, yeah, you have to... Wait. So you have to make it stand.
For fun, I think for fun, because
Okay.
really when you put it in your drawers,
It looks better also.
It will stand anyway. So,
It did not stand.
ta-da!
Is it
Okay.
also better some roll the shirts para mas may space?
I think
no?
for luggages, but for
Oo,
example,
pero for your closet.
this is, let me just
Okay.
have this. So here, this is an example for perhaps of a drawer that you have.
Let's make
Ah,
it
that's
stand.
how my clothes are actually standing.
So for our
Let's
viewers,
put it in.
then you just put it in. And so really, what you want to have is that visual, that vantage point of seeing, okay, right now I know I have a pair of pants, I have 2 collared shirts and 2 t-shirts. So that when you don't, overbuy.
So you actually see the color,
Yes.
the style,
Yes.
and that actually makes you want to use it, pair it, as
Yeah.
opposed to just getting
It's
stored.
also easier if you start with your child's clothes, no? Kasi mas maliliit.
Yes.
Tapos you can start small
And it's
then
nice.
and then build up to your own closet.
You can train them.
Oo.
You can have it as a bonding experience.
Now for jeans, paano ang
Okay,
folding
for
sa
jeans, of course, you just make sure you have a flat surface, a table, or maybe your bed will do. Again, pat it with love. And with
love
with
again.
pants, you
let me
have
do
the
like
triangle part here by the crotch. You fold
yes,
it.
that
This
part
is
always
annoying.
gets out.
You have to fold
This
it
is
like
that,
this. And from the bottom, again, fold it. Make sure you have that 1-inch gap so that it will stand on its own. Fold it once and twice, and ta-da! This is how you fold your KonMari pants.
And it stood, and we get to put it back here.
Yes, you can put it back
And you
there.
could see everything. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
so
much
organized.
neater when you go to hotels, even the towels.
Yes.
You don't leave this one showing, the open parts, right?
Yes.
The protocol is always this part where it's clean and nice. Okay,
love
before
it.
you go to those items, I have a question.
Yes.
When packing for travel, like what Mai mentioned, people say, although I don't do it.
I roll
Yeah,
my
you
clothes.
do?
I roll it.
Oh, so you do it?
So there's
Does
more
it really
space.
save space?
I think it
No,
depends
but
on the size.
No, what I do is I roll
Okay.
it, I fold it in half first. Let me know
Okay.
if this is correct.
Let's expose
I tuck
our
this
folding
in,
styles.
and then I
Yes.
do this, leave space, and also roll. Or I start with this because this is the thicker part, and then I roll it, squeezing it while rolling, para compact siya.
This works too. The only thing for me why I do it the folding way is because, for example, in your own closet, do you
No, but this is for the luggage.
Yes. So, for example,
For
that
packing.
also works. It saves a lot of space. If you, for me, I just get it, I put it in my luggage. So again, it's not about the type of folding. It's for you to be able to see
Yeah.
everything in one glance. So if that works for you, that's okay as well.
But the thing is, Mai, if you do it that way and you roll, you don't get to pat it with love, and it feels like it's so restricted and so tight. It has to be free. No, but kidding aside, I like what you mentioned. When you pack, you just pull this out
From the drawer.
straight to the
And
luggage.
it's easy, no?
Straight to
Because
the
if
luggage.
you have to still
Okay.
make it round, it will save space, yes. But when you put it back in your closet, it might take a little bit longer.
Okay.
And guys, this is so easy. Please try it at home and let us know how it is, how it works for you, diba? We'd love to know your comments pag na-try nyo na yung folding the KonMari
Mari
way.
method. Okay.
Ano, let's go to socks.
For socks, my favorite is this because who among you here folds your socks like this? Into or around?
I used to, but when I watched Marie Kondo,
You
that's
know
what I
what Marie
learned.
calls this? These are unhappy socks.
Okay.
Because one pair is always stretched. So you don't want that. What you want to do is, when your pair of socks, you just put one on top of the other and then fold it like that.
So it's the same
ganun lang
practice.
pala.
It's
and
the
so
same
simple.
practice. So, for example, you have socks like that, just one fold. If you have something that's longer, like this Winnie the Pooh pair of socks, you fold it one and two,
Twice.
and that works like
And
that.
the same thing happens here because it's the clean part that's shown, not the open part.
Yes,
And you
yes,
can
the
easily
clean
see.
part. And
You
then
don't want unhappy
you
socks.
do not. We do not want unhappy socks.
We didn't bring it here. We don't have samples. But what about underwear?
Ta-da.
Oh, I was
Seriously.
gonna ask that.
Yeah.
So see, it looks very
Yeah.
and
So much
You have
cleaner.
so much space. For underwear, it's going to be the same thing. So for example, you just have to make sure that you see this part.
Again, it's this
Again.
folded area that you expose so you see every single item. Okay.
Yes.
Very helpful. Are we going to do the book?
Oh, for books, these are the two life-changing books. This is actually
I read
autographed by
those,
Marie Kondo. And so, for books, it's important that when you put it in your bookshelf,
It's the
the
same.
spine is seen.
Okay, not this part with the open
not like
pages.
that.
So it works the same for
Yeah.
clothes and books.
Para you can see also
Yes.
the titles agad.
Yes.
I also like what you said, that you have to display the books. Kasi otherwise, you won't pick them up and
Yes.
read.
And also for some bookshelves, I know some people do this. If you're displaying a coffee table book, this is okay. But if you're putting it in the library, it's not good because it's hard for you to get the bottom book.
And
so
it
you want
messes everything
all
up,
the books
yeah.
to be easy
Upright.
access, upright like that. Ta-da!
Okay, Ren, a lot of people out there who are into organizing would see that when they check online, there's a lot of items being sold to us, right? Oh, this little box for organizing, this particular holder, or this way of...
And
What
before
are
you know it, you'll accumulate also containers.
Exactly.
The rule is, when you want to tidy up your home, the last thing you'll do is to buy product. I did it wrong before I learned the KonMari because when I say, oh, I want to organize my house, I will buy so much of these organizing stuff,
Yeah.
thinking that I'm doing it the right way, but it really just adds to the problem because by the end of the process that you're tidying up, you have less need for space.
It's also good that you mentioned that, Chal, because Marie Kondo was also criticized for that because she came up with an online store and selling some products, diba? But
And the good thing,
they're saying she's promoting consumerism.
I think with the KonMari method, it's really being able to ask yourself, what is it that you want in your life? Even if you have so many options, even if you have so many items, there's really just one person who can tell you, oh, I don't need this anymore, and that's yourself. And so when you go through this process, for our viewers, just really ask yourself, where am I now in my life? What do I need?
It's always going back to the intention again.
Yes,
And
yes.
when you tidy up, don't be with your loved ones. Don't be with your parents. They will, when they see you discarding, they will say, ay, sayang.
They will attach the
I gave this to
emotions.
you. This is a gift.
Yes.
So you want to be able to do it alone.
So many Filipinos will relate to that. Like, what a waste, sayang. We can still use that,
Yes.
right?
And those voices are distracting, no?
exactly.
They will deter you from your mission.
And also, one more thing I always say, when you want to let go of something, please do not force your items to your sister, to your friends,
okay.
because sometimes they might just be feeling guilty, like, oh, sayang, but
And
you have
some
to ask
people
them
may
if they
not
like it.
want your junk. We can call it junk.
But they're
also.
not, they're just shy to say, oh, I
Yes,
don't like it.
oo. Also, let us know also, how does this apply to our professional lives? Organizing,
At work,
diba?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I also do, there's a Joy at Work module that I also do. So I go to offices. And I realize that sometimes, of course, there's so much turnover with work. There's so much tasks,
So much papers, too.
so much paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so if it's not a space that's tidy, it's very hard to focus. Productivity is really lessened. So what we do is we have to make sure that everyone's on the same page, knowing that this is a long-term solution. So it's also following the same process, just removing the clothes. So you focus on books, papers, miscellaneous items can be your office supplies. And then lastly, sentimental items can be trophies or some awards.
And I bet
that
you
the
get so
company
many
has.
questions about this, no?
Yes.
Also, not just our desks, not just our files, but also on our computers and our phones.
Digital clutter.
Yes, how
is
do we
also-
get started? That is
So
a
for
problem.
digital clutter, for example, everyone's phones, you have many applications, right? Very quick way to look at it. Look at the applications and try to see which one haven't you opened in the past 6 months. If you don't open it, then delete that application.
You know,
It's very
this is actually
simple.
what I'm looking
nakarelate ka.
for. Yes, digital clutter. I actually wish that there was a service where someone can fix all the photos in my phone, and I will just sign an NDA, and she will just sign an NDA, and please fix it away. So it's really life-changing because once you fix your surroundings and your items in your life, you feel like you're walking into a fresh life. Okay,
So Ren, how do we get started? For example, sa phone.
Oh, for the phone, just maybe tonight before you sleep,
the apps you
just
mentioned.
sit down, look at your apps, and also
With
for
our
your emails.
galleries, our pictures.
For the
our
photos, it's good for you if you want to organize it according to year, according to events. That's also something. But make sure that it's not too specific that it becomes tedious already. You want to make sure that it's either maybe family, work. The simpler it is, the better. Because human nature is, if it's hard, you won't do it.
Okay, yes, I agree with that. Okay, can I just be quickly blunt about something?
Yes.
You know how there are people who really still keep items like bacon briefs and bacon collars. So we're just gonna go straight to the point.
Ako, I throw it away.
Because it's sentimental to them, right?
Yes.
That's not me, but to others, sentimental to them. How is it that we talked about letting go or earlier on, but how do you decipher how long you should keep something for?
If it's already not making you feel good about yourself.
But what if bacon
The
is still
other
making you
person,
happy?
you know, it feels
It's
good when he
true.
sees the bacon brief.
Yeah,
Parang,
like,
this is not your
high school-
husband?
No. I've let go of those for him.
Okay.
No, but like, diba, there are stuff out there that people really keep. My butas na, my aircon na here,
Yes.
but it still makes them feel good. Like, this is my high school PE shirt. Something like that. How long should you keep something for?
For me, if it's really not, it doesn't look good on you anymore, there is a certain point in your life where you also have to be very honest and kind to yourself. Because even if many years maybe it's very comfortable, it's very smooth cotton already, you know that it's not the best version of yourself when you're wearing
So
that.
to our viewers watching
To
that,
our
and they're
viewers.
probably seeing their shirts with holes, you have to be kind to
Be
yourself.
kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
And I
Mo
see
saying
Mo,
that's
Mo
me.
can relate.
Mo can
yes.
relate.
Oh, tell us about your brand as well, how they can reach you before we let you go.
You can reach me on Instagram at World of Yorokobi, and I'd love to work with you either in your home, your office, and at the end of the day, it's really giving yourself a joyful life so that you can be able to spread joy to others, because that's where everything starts from yourself.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
sparking
much,
joy
Ren.
today on the
Yes,
Daily
you
Dish.
brought joy today to all of us. Thank you for your time. Certified KonMari consultant, of course, and tidying coach Renelyn Tan-Castillejos. Now, don't go away. The Daily Dish will be right back to bring you more joy.
This is my daily dish.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Now, this just in, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology confirms Apollo Quiboloy was rushed to a public hospital on September 11 due to difficulty in breathing. He was diagnosed with community-acquired pneumonia. Pasig City Regional Trial Court, Branch 159, was informed on September 15 the court allowed Quiboloy's hospitalization. As of Monday, Quiboloy is stable and recovering in a public hospital. This is in line with BJMP's policies for medical care for persons deprived of liberty.
A labor coalition is seeking representation in the commission tasked to probe anomalies in flood control projects. Speaking on BNC's business brief, Joshua Mata, the Secretary General of Sentro ng mga Nagkakaisa at Progresibong Manggagawa or Sentro, says the billions plundered by politicians, contractors, and DPWH officials come from the people's hard-earned money, and workers are demanding the power to investigate alleged corruption in these projects. The coalition also says the ICI needs more teeth to put those responsible behind bars. Sa tingin ninyo, sino ang dapat na mailagay sa Independent Commission on Infrastructure?
Doon sa hanay ng mga manggagawa, particular sa sentro at sa koalisyon na pinabibilangan ito sa nagkaisa, nananawagan kami na dapat ay merong sectoral representation ito. Dahil ang nilustay na pera ay pera ng mga manggagawa, mahalaga na may mga manggagawa, may representative na manggagawa sa ICI. But more than yung usapin ng representation, ang crucial sa amin talaga ay yung kapasidad at kapangyarihan ng ICI na mag-imbestiga. No, at alam natin na kapos yan sa ngayon dahil ito ay resulta lamang ng isang executive order, kung kaya't napakahalaga kung gustong i-demonstrate ng gobyerno natin ang seriousness nila talaga, no, na maimbestigahan ang anomalyang ito, dapat ay itulak na ng Malacanang na ma-certify as urgent yung panukalang batas na magbibigay ng mas maraming IPEN, na mas malakas na IPEN dito sa ICI para talagang tuloy-tuloy ang investigation natin.
Kasi nga, ang sabi nyo nga sa inyong statement, walang prosecutorial powers itong ICI.
Tama po yan. Kung kaya nangangailangan po yan na isang batas para bigyan sila ng ganyang kapangyarihan.
Influencer Garrett G faced mixed reactions after posting a video of his son being thrown off a cliff. While some praised the adventurous parenting, others questioned the safety and judgment behind the stunt. G, best known for documenting global travels with his family under the Bucket List family, responded by thanking viewers for their concern. He also assured his followers his children's well-being remains his top priority.
And while you girls did the news, I have my own news. 86 days till Christmas, everyone!
Yay!
86, that's so close.
And is it
So
the last
close, it
day
sounds far.
of September today?
Yes!
Oh, it is.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh, we are entering the
Oh
fourth
my
quarter
goodness.
I know.
officially.
That's it for us today, Tuesday, September 30th. Join us again tomorrow for more Real Talk.
A lot of spilled tea.
With Zero Filter, I'm Monique Tuzon. Anytime is a good time because it's always more fun with us.
I'm Chal Lontoc in for Ferdy Salvador. We've got the news and stories that matter the most.
And I'm Mai Rodriguez. That's a daily dish served. Thank you for watching.